Yes, ma'am.
So session 1 of the chapter Sher Shah Suri. Let's do the question answers. Number 1, the first question is organize and present the information under provincial administration in a flow chart. So this is what even I ask you all to do, children, for whatever topics we are studying. If you keep it in this flow chart format, it will become easier for you to understand. Can you see the flow chart they have done? Village and paragana. In village we have what? Mukaddam. What is the role of a mukaddam?
Maintaining law and order in the village.
No, ma'am. Mukaddam is the village head, ma'am.
He is also responsible. He has 2 duties. He is
yes, ma'am.
responsible for maintaining law and order in village. Got it, Mariam?
No, yes. Okay, ma'am.
Yes. Next is Potwari. What is his duty?
Record keeper for the village.
And in what about Shikardar? Shikdar? What is his duty?
Ma'am, he was responsible for a paragna, ma'am.
Yes. He is responsible.
And ma'am, he would also collect the revenue from the
Paragana. Okay. Clear? Got it, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Next is, which 2 battles determined the end of Mughal rule? Which were the 2 battles after which Mughal rule was, declined?
The Battle of Chausa and the Battle of Kannauj determined the end of the Mughal rule.
Okay. Why? Whom these battles were fought between?
Ma'am, between Humayun and Sher Khan.
And Sher. Very good. Between Humayun and Sher Khan.
Sher Khan Suri.
Sher Khan Suri.
Sher Khan Suri. After becoming the king, he took the title of Sher.
Ma'am, Sher Shah. Sher Shah, ma'am. Ma'am, his name was Sher Khan, ma'am, but when he became the emperor, ma'am, he formed his name into Sher Shah.
He named himself as Sher Shah.
Yeah. So you need to call him as Sher Shah because at the time when the battle took place, he was considered as what? Sher Shah.
Sher
right?
Shah. Yes.
Okay. Now, name the different departments and the ministers in charge of that department. As we had, this particular table is given in your textbook as it is.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Write down
I'm
the
in the
table.
digital book.
Yes. See, I am asking you, write down the name and by hand this table as it is, because you might definitely get a objective question based upon this in your final exams.
Okay, ma'am.
So please mark this particular table as important. They'll definitely ask you one of the question among this.
Ma'am, after FAs, we directly have finals only, no, ma'am?
Yes. Now you have final exams only. Next. All these syllabus are included in your final exam portion. Okay, so remember that. Next question is, how did Sher Shah Suri make sure that corruption and greed for power was curbed?
And he transferred the officials constantly, ma'am.
Yes. He made sure that the officers are constantly transferred, from one place to the other place. All right. Next question. How was Sher Shah Suri's military administration an exemplary one? Why do you think he was, whatever military reforms he had brought up, it was excellent? And yes.
Ma'am, may I give the answer?
Yes, please.
Ma'am, he directly recruited soldiers, ma'am, and took personal interest in their training. Ma'am, second point, he paid the soldiers in cash, ma'am, in keeping with the skill and ability, ma'am.
Very good.
Ma'am, the higher the ability, the higher money they get.
Right. Correct. And what else did he do?
Ma'am, he revived Khilji, Chehra and Dag, ma'am.
Yes. So what does Chehra and Dag mean?
Ma'am, Chehra is referred to the descriptive role of every soldier, ma'am, to ensure attendance.
Yes.
And ma'am, Dag was the branding of horses.
So that the horses don't get mixed up with the other inferior horses, right?
Yes.
And what else did he do?
Ma'am, he divided his army into many units, ma'am, and each was headed by a commander called as the Faujdar.
Yes, commander or Faujdar. Yes. So these were all the military reforms which were brought up by Sher Shah Suri and which proved to be Very excellent, right? An exemplary one. Very good, very good. Mariam, keep it up. Very
Thank
nice.
you.
Next question. Why did Sher Shah Suri want to build a good network of roads? What was his reason? Why did he want to have a good network? Yes, Shlo?
Ma'am, the first reason was so that he could like facilitate quick movements of troops and equipments.
True.
And then
Very
the second point was that help in trade and commerce so that it can be passed on between other countries and to easy travel.
Yes, for easy travel and for communication also. You remember earlier people were not able to have like know what is going on in the other territory. So because of road transportation, good network of transportation, what had happened? People could now exchange their ideas. They could now communicate, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
There were dark chokis also in the middle.
Yes, yes. And for that purpose, he had built up various sarais and dark chokis. All right, good. Next, which feature of Grand Trunk Road makes it outstanding? Why do you think this particular road is outstanding?
Ma'am, because the road stretched from Sonargaon, ma'am, to Peshawar, ma'am.
Yes.
Present day Bangladesh and Pakistan, ma'am. And ma'am, it was one of the oldest and longest roads in South Asia, ma'am, stretching for 2,500 kilometers.
Very
This
nice.
made the Grand Trunk Road outstanding.
This is why it is considered as outstanding. Very good, very good. Keep it up. Very nice. I hope everybody else, all the others also got the answer. Children, have you got the answer still?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, thank you. Next is, how did Sher Shah slow his concern for his subjects while laying the Grand Trunk Road? What did he do? While he was, yes, how do you think he was concerned for his people? What?
Ma'am, because for the benefit, ma'am, and comfort of the travelers, ma'am, he built
Sarais,
ma'am, and ma'am, as well as intervals on important roads, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, then he also provided for shade by planting trees on both sides of the road. Ma'am, the sarais also doubled up as dark chowkis, ma'am, or post houses with horsemen ready to carry the royal mail.
Yes, yes. And what was Sarais exactly? What was there in Sarais?
Ma'am, they were rest houses.
Ma'am, they were rest houses.
Rest houses for travelers.
For all the travelers. So this shows that he was concerned about his people. Right? He was concerned for the welfare of his people. Next question is, what is Dag and Chehra?
Ma'am, may I answer?
Yes.
Ma'am, Chehra is referred to as the descriptive role of every soldier to ensure attendance and rule out possibility of proxy. And ma'am, Dhag was the branding of horses with an imperial sign to avoid replacements with the inferior ones.
Yes. So, so that, you know, it doesn't get mixed up with the other inferior horses. All right. Good. Very good. Next is, how was Sher Shah Suri a great military strategist? Why do you think that he would be considered as the great military strategist? What military reforms did he brought in?
Ma'am, Chehra and Dag, ma'am. He revived.
And only that?
No, ma'am, there are more, ma'am.
Ma'am is personal army comprised of 1,50,000 cavalry, 25,000 infantry, and 5,000 elephants.
Yes, so that itself shows, okay, that is one point.
Ma'am, directly recruited the soldiers, ma'am, and took personal interest in their training.
Yes.
Ma'am, he paid the soldiers in cash.
He himself recruited the soldiers and he himself personally trained the soldiers. All right. Yes. And what else?
Ma'am, he paid
them in cash.
Paid them in cash.
Yes. To make sure that, see, they are the ones who will be on the battlefield, right? So he even made sure that these soldiers are happy. And for that purpose, what did he do? He paid them in cash. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Next is, why is Sher Shah Suri's land revenue system considered as the most notable contribution? What measures did he brought up in the land revenue system? Who will tell me and why it was considered as the notable
Ma'am.
contribution?
Ma'am.
Yes. Yes, so new hand.
Ma'am, me.
Okay, Sujal.
Ma'am, me.
He did not get the chance. Yes, Sujal.
Ma'am, Sher Shah's land revenue is considered as his most notable contribution because of a striking and excellent land revenue.
Yes.
Ma'am, the land was assessed and measured every year.
Yes.
Land revenue was fixed at 1/3 of the produce.
Very
This
good.
could be paid in cash or in kind as grain share.
Yes. And what else? How was the land divided?
The land was classified into 3 categories on the basis of fertility: good, middling, and bad.
Okay. And what did he do to, make the peasants happy? How did he manage it?
Collection.
How did he make sure that the peasants were happy? By, on one hand, introducing strict collection of taxes, and on the other hand, being lenient while assessing the land.
Ma'am.
Okay.
Land
Yes, Maria.
Ma'am, can I answer your question, ma'am, which you asked right now,
Yeah.
ma'am, the peasants? Ma'am, mutual understanding was introduced with Pata and Kubuliyat. Ma'am,
Patta and Kuboliyat. Yes.
Ma'am, Patta was the written document which mentioned the amount or rate of revenue demanded, and Kubuliyat was another written document was issued by the peasants, ma'am.
So that even the peasants are satisfied that whatever was decided among them is now there in the form of a written document. So both the parties have to obey that. Right?
Yes, ma'am. And this is why, ma'am, the peasants accept the obligation.
Yeah, all these points are there in your textbook as it is. So just write down the entire in the point form only from your textbook. If you'll see, it is there in point form.
Yes, ma'am.
It's there in the textbook.
Ma'am, on page number 26 and 27.
Yeah, land reforms subheading. Okay, refer to the note on GST from the previous page. Do you think Sher Shah would approve of such a tax, and why? So this is your own answers. So answers may differ. You all know GST. We have studied about GST, different land taxes and all.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
And GST, VAT.
Yes, which we pay now, which is implied on us, right? Now, if you think Sher Shah was there now, and do you think that he would have approved for such type of a tax? If yes, why? If no, why? What do you think?
Ma'am, no, ma'am.
No, then why? What is the answer to that? How will you justify your no?
Because all the information provided on him, ma'am, there is no such use of taxes, ma'am. That's fine.
Okay. Anybody else who would like to try? All right. So just read whatever is written here.
Yes, ma'am. Sheh Shah did introduce weights and measures that were followed in a uniform standard when goods were brought into the country and when goods were sold. This shows that Sheh Shah would have approved of such a tax.
Okay. So, although according to the text, it would say, because we know that in the text it is written, he had introduced uniform standard of weights and measures, right? Which was followed by all the other people also from the other territories.
Yes,
so based upon the text, it says that he would, but it is not necessary that you need to agree. Whatever, if you say no, your answer is still correct. Fine? Because here the answers may differ. All right. Next is, what are the benefits of such a tax? What do you think? What are the benefits of taxes? Especially GST, which we pay. Do you know what are the benefits of GST?
No, ma'am.
Can you repeat, Joshua, loudly?
Ma'am, it helps in the growth of the country, ma'am.
Very good. It helps in the growth of the country. What else? You know,
Ma'am,
instead of
Eliminates excessive or multiple
yes, it
taxation.
eliminates excessive and multiple taxation. Instead of paying different taxes, you know, multiple taxes and on basis of different names, you just have one particular tax.
And
All
it
right,
makes it easier.
it makes it easier. Very good. Yes,
It
sir.
also, ma'am, it also like develops the economy and the country's infrastructure.
Yes, it develops the economy, and if the economy develops, automatically the country's infrastructure
Ma'am,
is
how does the economy
developed.
develop?
Yes,
How does the economy develop?
economy will develop. See, instead of paying different collecting different taxes, we just have one tax, GST, right? Where in one particular thing, student people pay all the taxes, and definitely that is going to have an impact on the economy, the money, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Next.
Ma'am, also, ma'am, disincentivize the tax invasion, ma'am.
Yes, very good, very
Ma'am,
good.
lower the tax rates and make business operations also easier.
Right, true. Because see, the lower the tax, the more people will have business opportunities, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And the more the people are involved into the business, automatically the economy will grow. What was patta and kubuliyat? Who will tell me what does patta mean?
Can I?
Yes, Sad.
Patta was a written document which mentioned the amount of or rate of revenue demand. Kubuliyat, another written document.
Rate of land revenue demand.
Yes, ma'am. Rate of revenue, land revenue demand.
Yes.
Kubuliyat, another written document, was issued by the peasants, accepting the obligation upon them, which was mutually decided.
Mutually decided. Yes. This is as it is given in your textbooks, children. Please
Yes,
refer to
ma'am.
your text and write it down. Next is, how did Sher Shah ensure that peasants were supported instead of being troubled? Through his land revenue system. Provide three measures. So you have to give three measures which shows that, okay, Sher Shah actually looked after the welfare of the peasants instead of troubling them. And also make sure that the peasants were happy. Particular things, measures show you this. Yeah, yes, Mariam.
Ma'am, from each of those side, ma'am, like from Sher Shah Suri's side, ma'am, he wrote the patta, ma'am, and from peasant side, they wrote the kubuliyat, ma'am. That's why there was a mutual understanding between them.
No, see, that was there to make them happy. But then what are the basic things, important ones? This is there. I do not deny. This is there. What are the important points?
And land was measured every year. And
Yes, he measured the land. He assessed the land. And based upon the measurement, he decided the revenue, right? So that the peasants are not burdened. This is main thing, right? And what else did he do?
Some
Ma'am,
collection of taxes was to be
He
strict, ma'am.
fixed, very good. He fixed the land revenue tax, and that was 1/3. And he not only fixed it, what did he do? He gave them an option. Either if you have cash, pay us the revenue in cash. If you cannot pay in cash, what you can do? You
Grain
can
share.
Grain share.
Grain
this
share.
this shows that he was looking for their benefit, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes.
and land assessment was meant to be lenient.
Yeah, on one hand, if he has introduced strict land tax collecting rules, on the other hand, what did he do? He assessed the land leniently, right? So that is also there to make sure that the peasants are balanced. They do not feel trouble, they do not feel harassed. Instead, he took care of the peasants, right? Clear
Yes,
now?
ma'am. Peasants are,
Yes.
ma'am, peasants are farmers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Write a 4-paragraph essay titled The Genius Called Sher Shah Suri with a structure as follows. Okay, paragraph 1, you need to write down an essay over here, all right, which will be based, the title of the essay would be The Genius Called Sher Shah, and they have divided the paragraphs also for you all. Paragraph 1, you have to explain and praise his administrative systems, both central and provisional. Okay. Paragraph 2, you need to explain and commend on his military reforms, whichever military reforms he had brought up in his territory, and its success. Paragraph 3, you had to talk about his efforts to improve the transport and trade system. Paragraph 4, you have to extol his land revenue policy and its benefits to the peasants. You need to explain about what land reforms he brought in the land revenue system, okay, and how did it benefit the peasants. All right, next.
Ma'am, there are only 4 paragraphs. Ma'am.
Can you scroll down?
Oh, okay, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So 1 minute. Now all these topics, if you will see paragraph wise, whatever topics they have given you, it is as it is given in your textbooks, children, right? If in the beginning you have the central and the provisional administration, you have a paragraph based upon his military reforms, you have a paragraph based upon his land reforms. So you just need to take from there and you need to write down your own essay. So the content is already there in your textbook. It's just that you need to summarize it and write down in your own words. Right? This I won't discuss because this I want you all to do it on your own. Because when you will summarize, you will automatically read the chapter at least once. Fine? I want you all to read the chapter. Clear, everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Next question is, how was it good that Sher Shah interrupted the Mughal rule? Do you think it was good that Sher Shah interrupted the Mughal rule?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. All right. Now, if you say yes, you have to justify how it was good.
Ma'am, Sher Shah was capable of being a ruler, ma'am, more than the capability of Humayun, ma'am. Ma'am, he wasn't as scared as Humayun, ma'am, and he also had brilliant military skills and wisdom.
Ma'am, he had an efficient administrative system as well.
Yes. He brought up. Yes.
And he also powered and strengthened the empire.
Yes. Yes.
Ma'am, he was a great warrior.
Okay.
Ma'am, his standing army was alert, disciplined, and well organized.
Yes, no.
Ma'am, his standing army was alert, disciplined, and well organized.
Very good, very good. That is also very important.
Ma'am, his land revenue policy was caring towards the peasants.
Yes. So you know all the reforms which were brought up by Sher Shah. You can include that in this particular answer. And one more important thing, the fact that even Akbar followed his land revenue policies shows that even the Mughal rule, which continued after Sher Shah Suri, also continued with the reforms which were brought up by him. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Clear, everyone?
Okay,
Have you
ma'am.
understood till here?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, next question.
Ma'am, we are done with the chapter.
We are done. So now
Yes,
we'll
ma'am.
stop here for today. Please complete all the question answers in your history classwork book, children.